सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशांताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम ज्ञानानंदमयं देवं निर्मलं स्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः, ऋषिभ्यो नमः, मुनिभ्यो नमः, गुरुभ्यो नमः, ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः। ओम परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकराचार्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अत्र्यादि सप्तर्षिभ्यो नमः। प्रह्लादादि भक्तजनेभ्यो नमः। मत्स्यादि अवतारेभ्यो नमः। ऋगादि समस्त वेदशास्त्रेतिहासेभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः ओम समस्त शास्त्रोक्तः परब्रह्म परमात्मनः अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक संस्कृतेः विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं च आयुरारोग्यैश्वर्य क्षेम धैर्यादि प्राप्त्यर्थं च विश्वशांति विश्वकल्याणार्थं च बृहदारण्यक उपनिषदः पारायणं तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणम्। Yesterday in chapter 3 in 9th Brahmanam we have chanted 10 mantras. Now let us continue from the 11th. Om Atha Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Atha Trutiyodhyayah Atha Navamam Brahmanam. Om Kama eva yasya yatanagam hrudayam loko mano jyotir yo vaitam purusham vidyat sarvasyatmanah parayanagam savai vedita syat yajnavalkya vedava aham tam purushagam sarvasya atmanah parayanam yamatha ya evayam kamamaya purushah sa esha vadaiva shakalya तस्य का देवता इति स्त्रियः इति होवाच रूपाण्येव यस्यायतनं चक्षुर्लोकः मनोज्योतिः यो वै तं पुरुषं विद्यात् सर्वस्यात्मनः परायणगं स वै वेदिता स्यात् याज्ञवल्क्यवेदवा अहं तं पुरुषगं सर्वस्यात्मनः परायणम् यमात्थ य एव असौ आदित्ये पुरुषः स एष वदैव शाकल्य तस्य का देवतेति सत्यमिति होवाच आकाश एव यस्य आयतनगं श्रोत्रं लोकः मनो ज्योतिः यो वै तं पुरुषं विद्यात् सर्वस्य आत्मनः परायणगं स वै वेदिता स्यात् याज्ञवल्क्य वेदवा अहं तं पुरुषगं सर्वस्य आत्मनः परायणगं यमात्थ य एवायगं श्रौत्रः प्रातिश्रुत्कः पुरुषः स एष वदैव शाकल्य तस्य का देवता इति दिश इति उवाच तम एव यस्यायतनगं हृदयं लोकः मनो ज्योतिः यो वै तं पुरुषं विद्यात् सर्वस्यात्मनः परायणगं स वै वेदिता स्यात् याज्ञवल्क्य वेदवा अहं तं पुरुषगं सर्वस्य आत्मनः परायणं यमात्थ य एव अयं छायामयः पुरुषः स एष वदैव शाकल्य तस्य का देवतेति मृत्युरिति होवाच रूपाण्येव यस्यायतनं चक्षुर्लोकः मनोज्योतिः यो वै तं पुरुषं विद्यात् सर्वस्यात्मनः परायणगं स वै वेदिता स्यात् याज्ञवल्क्य वेद वा अहं तं पुरुषगं सर्वस्य आत्मनः परायणं यमात्थ य एव अयम् आदर्शे पुरुषः स एष वदैव शाकल्य तस्य का देवता इति असुः इति व उवाच आप एव यस्यायतनगं हृदयं लोकः मनोज्योतिः यो वै तं पुरुषं विद्यात् सर्वस्य आत्मनः परायणगं स वै वेदिता स्यात् याज्ञवल्क्य वेद वा अहं तं पुरुषगं सर्वस्य आत्मनः परायणं यमात्थ य एव अयम् अप्सु पुरुषः स एष वदैव शाकल्य तस्य का देवता इति वरुण इति होवाच रेत एव यस्यायतनगं हृदयं लोकः मनोज्योतिः यो वै तं पुरुषं विद्यात् सर्वस्य आत्मनः परायणगं स वै वेदिता स्यात् याज्ञवल्क्य वा अहं तं पुरुषगं सर्वस्य आत्मनः परायणं यमात्थ य एवायं पुत्रमयः पुरुषः स एष वदैव शाकल्य तस्य का देवतेति प्रजापतिरिति होवाच शाकल्येति होवाच याज्ञवल्क्यः त्वागं स्वित् इमे ब्राह्मणा अंगारावक्षेण मक्रता इति याज्ञवल्क्येति होवाच शाकल्यो यदिदं कुरु पञ्चालानां ब्राह्मणान् अत्यवादीः किं ब्रह्म विद्वान् इति दिशो वेद सदेवाः सप्रतिष्ठाः इति यद्दिशो वेत्थ सदेवाः सप्रतिष्ठाः किं देवतोऽस्यां प्राच्यां दिशि असीति आदित्यदेवत इति स आदित्यः कस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठित इति चक्षुषि इति कस्मिन्नु चक्षुः प्रतिष्ठितम् इति रूपेषु इति चक्षुषा हि रूपाणि पश्यते कस्मिन्नु रूपाणि प्रतिष्ठितानि इति हृदये इति स उवाच हृदयेन हि रूपाणि जानाति हृदये हि एव रूपाणि प्रतिष्ठितानि भवन्ति इति एवमेव एतत् याज्ञवल्क्य किं देवतोऽस्यां दक्षिणायां दिशि असि इति यमदेवत इति सः यमः कस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठितः इति यज्ञ इति कस्मिन्नु यज्ञः प्रतिष्ठित इति दक्षिणायामिति कस्मिन्नु दक्षिणा प्रतिष्ठिता इति श्रद्धायामिति यदा हि एव श्रद्धत्येथ दक्षिणां ददाति श्रद्धायागां हि एव दक्षिणा प्रतिष्ठिता इति कस्मिन्नु श्रद्धा प्रतिष्ठिता इति हृदये इति उवाच हृदयेन हि श्रद्धाम जानाते हृदये हि एव श्रद्धा प्रतिष्ठिता भवति इति एवम् एव तत् एतत् याज्ञवल्क्य किं देवतोऽस्यां प्रदेच्यां दिशसि इति वरुणदेवत इति स वरुणः कस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठितः इति अप्सु इति कस्मिन्नु आपः प्रतिष्ठिता इति रेतसि इति कस्मिन्नु रेतः प्रतिष्ठितम् इति हृदये इति तस्मात् अपि प्रतिरूपं जातम् आहुः हृदयाद् इव सुप्तः हृदयाद् इव निर्मितः सुप्तः हृदयादिव निर्मितः इति हृदये हि एव रेतः प्रतिष्ठितं भवति इति एवमेव एतत् याज्ञवल्क्य किं देवतोऽस्यामुदीच्यां दिशि असि इति सोमदेवत इति स सोमः कस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठित इति दीक्षायामिति कस्मिन्नु दीक्षा प्रतिष्ठिता इति सत्ये इति तस्मादपि दीक्षितमाहुः सत्यं वद इति सत्ये हि एव दीक्षा प्रतिष्ठिता इति कस्मिन्नु सत्यं प्रतिष्ठितमिति हृदये इति ह उवाच हृदयेन हि सत्यं जानाते हृदये हि एव सत्यं प्रतिष्ठितं भवतीति एवमेव एतद् याज्ञवल्क्य किं देवतोऽस्यां ध्रुवायां दिशि असि इति अग्निदेवत इति सः अग्निः कस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठितः इति वाचि इति कस्मिन् वाक् प्रतिष्ठिता इति हृदये इति कस्मिन् हृदयं प्रतिष्ठितम् इति अहल्लिकेति होवाच याज्ञवल्क्यो यत्र ऐतत् अन्यत्र अस्मत् मन्यासै यद्धि एतद् अन्यत्रास्मत् स्यात् श्वानो वै न दद्युः वयागंसि वै न द्विमथ्निरन्निते कस्मिन्नु त्वां चात्मा च प्रतिष्ठितौ स्तः इति प्राणे इति कस्मिन्नु प्राणः प्रतिष्ठितः इति अपाने इति कस्मिन्नपानः प्रतिष्ठित इति व्याने इति कस्मिन्नु व्यानः प्रतिष्ठित इति उदाने इति कस्मिन्नु उदानः प्रतिष्ठित इति समाने इति स एष नेति नेति आत्मा अगृह्यः न हि गृह्यते अशीर्यो न हि शीर्यते असंगो न हि सज्जते असितो न व्यथते न रिष्यति एतानि अष्टौ आयतनानि अष्टौ लोका अष्टौ देवा अष्टौ पुरुषाः स यस्तान् पुरुषान् निरुह्य प्रत्युह्य अत्याक्रामत् तं त्वौपनिषदं पुरुषं पृच्छामि तं चेन्मे न विवक्ष्यसि मूर्धा ते विवदिष्यति इति तगंहनमेने शाकल्यः तस्यः मूर्धा विवपातापि ह अस्य परिमेषिणो अस्तीनि अपजह्नुः अन्यत् मन्यमानाः अतहोवाच ब्राह्मणाः भगवन्तो यो वः कामयते समापृच्छतु सर्वे वामापृच्छत यो वः कामयते तं वः पृच्छामि सर्वान् वावः पृच्छामि ते तेह ब्राह्मणा न ददृशुः तान् हैतैः श्लोकैः पप्रच्छ यथा वृक्षो वनस्पतिस्तथैव पुरुषो अमृषा तस्य लोमानि पर्णानि त्वगस्य उत्पाटिका बहिः त्वच एवास्य रुधिरं प्रस्यन्ति त्वच उत्पटः तस्मात् तदा तृण्णात् प्रैते रसो वृक्षादिवाहतात् मागंसान्यस्य शकराणि विनाटकं स्नावः तत्स्थिरम् अस्तीन्यन्तरतो दारूणि मज्जामज्जोपमाकृता यद्वृक्षो वृक्णो रोहते मूलात् न अवतरः पुनः मर्त्यः स्विन् मृत्युना वृक्णः कस्मात् मूलात् प्ररोहते रेतस इति मावोचत जीवतः तत्प्रजायते दानारुह इव वै वृक्षोऽञ्जसा प्रेत्य सम्भवः यत्समूलमावृहयेयुः वृक्षं न पुनराभवेत् मर्त्यास्वित् मृत्युना वृक्णः कस्मात् मूलात् प्ररोहते जात एव न जायते कोऽन्वेनं जनयेत् पुनः विज्ञानमानन्दं ब्रह्म रातिर्धातुः परायणं तिष्ठमानस्य तद्विद इति नवमं ब्राह्मणम् इति बृहदारण्यकोपनिषदे तृतीयोऽध्यायः समाप्तः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ॐ अथ प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ एकादशोऽनुवागः ॐ वेदमनोच्चाचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुशास्ते सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सेः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यैन प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्यायप्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि एके चास्मच्छ्रेयागंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया अधेयं श्रिया देयं ह्रिया देयं भिया देयं संविदा देयम् अथ यदि ते कर्म विजिगित्सा वा वृत्तविजिगित्सा वा स्यात् ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन् तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः अथाभ्याख्यातेषु ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्धेरन् तथा तेषु वर्धेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषत् एव एष एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् एवमुचैतदुपास्यम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 Salute to the Parabrahma Tattva, to the entire Rishimuni Guru Devata Parampara, to the Shruti Mata. Salutations to our Taittiriya Upanishad, Acharya Parampara of Vedavyasa Vaishampayana Yajnavalkya, Adya Shankara Adi. Salutations to our own Ishta Devata. With wholeheartedness, every day we must do. Now what we are doing is the pursuit of Atma Vidya, Tattva Vidya, Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of the truth reality. Not an easy task. It is the toughest, ultimate most. Because it is an ultimate most, how much ever tough it may be, we will not give up or leave or go away. This should be our continuous, constant suggestion giving to ourselves. We have to inspire ourselves to keep ourselves on the path in spite of any inner and outer upasargas or the antarayas. Dealing with the upasarga antaraya is different aspect. Inspiring ourselves all the time to be on the path of sadhana is another. Both of them are exclusive. These antaraya should not distract us from doing our regular sadhana that we have to do. Point 1. Today's second thought is what is, see, there are three selves in us. Teen Atmae is only Prakriya it is told. Don't search for this in any of the Google or any of the Shastra. Just for the sake of understanding. The three Atmas selves in us are one, the Parama Atma, the Supreme Self, which is the Atma in all, called as Brahma, defined as Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which is our goal. Second is the one who is trying to reach to that sthiti, called as the Jiva Atma in us. Third one is what? When that Jiva is traveling to reach to Brahma, from one body to the other. When he is in one body between the birth and death, for various reasons, because of various identities, there is one individual who is living between the womb and the tomb. That is what is our the third Vyavahara Atma. Clear? The Vyavahara Atma from birth to the death, the Jiva Atma from one life to the other, the Parama Atma, which is our ultimate goal to reach. In general, what happens to all of us is when we enter into Deha, we enter as Jivatma to do the sadhana to enter into Paramatma Anubhuti. Every Jiva, when he is between two bodies, left this body, next body is given. He is given a picture of all the papa he has done, ajnana he has done, therefore all the dukkha naraka given to him. Then he very strongly commits. Ki next opportunity comes, other than knowing the self, I will not do anything. The all that beautiful conviction, wonderful decision is that of Jiva. And that continues till the jiva is thrown out of the womb onto this earth. Even in the womb also, that jiva in his own conscious, subconscious existence goes on thinking this only. Let me be thrown out of this body, that I will do sadhana and reach to that level, after which this garbha, janma, jara, ityadi, dukkha, I don't want. Like yesterday, Prahalad told us in the Nrsimha Stuti, he do the sadhana, reach Narayana, else the same worst life of entering into the garbha of the mother and living there for 9 months, like living in a septic tank, and coming out and struggling and working, all that nonsense. Transcend all that by discovering Paramatma. That's what Prahlad said, and he knew it because he was in the garbha going through that situation. At that time only Naraji gave his Upadesha. That's how by birth only Prahlad is Paramabhakta, Paramajnani. So, in the Garbha, all the Jivas have this feeling. Once he is thrown out within few days, be attentive, because of his inability to maintain that consistency of that I am a Jiva born to know the self, mainly influenced by the atmosphere around, especially in the form of human beings who claim themselves to be of various relations to that born child and go on insisting on that child so many things that Jiva who came to know Paramatma forgets that he is a Jiva, then he gets that pseudo identity whichever is imposed on him by the ignorant people around. Be careful about this thought. Very crucial. You don't find all this in any in some deep shastras they may be there, but everywhere openly it is not available. Then with all the gender like a man or woman, then the religion Hindu or non-Hindu, then the caste this or that, then the Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all of that are given to that born Jiva. Now he is no more a Jiva. He is Jiva inside, but that Jiva Bhava is overpowered by his specified identity. Then is called as the son by the mother and father, brother by the brother or sister, grandson or whatever by the grandparents. You understand? Then as he growing, friends call him as friends, enemies call him as enemy. Then so many of the things fall on him. Be attentive. In trying to manage all these relations, in trying to eke out the sukha from all these things, this fellow tries to do everything in the world except that for which he came, because he forgot that he is Jiva. Are you getting the thought? Like I am doing everything in my life to satisfy my pseudo identity, forgetting that I came as Jiva, and Jiva is satisfied only when he is trying to near to the Paramatma. Now, the very important thought is the next one. Listen carefully. That is why you see, whenever we do something to be happy as a person of an individuality, we become happy, but still there is no satisfaction inside, contentment inside. So, too, whenever we are doing some tough things called as adhyatmic sadhanas, The outside there is a dissatisfaction of missing something, but inside there is a contentment. Inside there is a joy. Be careful, be absolutely acutely present to yourself, then you will catch this happening to you. Like when I sleep excess, the outer sleeper is happy for the sleeper, but the inner somebody else is there is miserable, saying that why did I sleep extra? So too, when I indulge in the objects of the world, the indulging, enjoying a person in me is happy, but inside there is another fellow who feels miserable. What did I do? This, why did I do this fellow who is miserable is there in everyone. But the one who is totally worldly and sensuous, he never recognizes him or identifies with him or identifies him. But the people who are becoming little sensitive, they become aware of these two things that are happening him. One fellow is satisfied with one thing and other fellow is miserable with the same thing. And there's another thing with which the inner fellow is happy, the outer is miserable. These two, when we become aware that there is the jiva in me. Now remember, when I am doing the sadhanas, the outer fellow is miserable. Who? The one who has got an identity with the world and who was eking out the happiness through the world things. That fellow is miserable because he is denied of these things. But inside, while denying that, when something spiritual is done, there is a happiness inside. To whom? To the jiva in me, who is the actual identity. And whenever instead of sadhana, something contrary to the sadhana is done, outside person may be happy because he's seeking the pleasures to them, but inside there is a regret and guilt. Who is feeling that regret and guilt? That jiva. Thus, when you and I recognize ourselves to be somebody other than this relative identity and take ourselves as Jiva, point one. And two, try to satisfy the Jiva, try to make the Jiva happy, not the outer personality, then we are seekers. And when will that Jiva inside me be happy? Only when I live the life of Dharma. Only when I live the life of Adhyatmic sadhana, of inner purification, only when I will live the life of those doings by which my antakarana is becoming very sharp and subtle, and that life where I am trying to recognize the truth or reality. Those things only make the jiva in me happy, and while making the jiva happy, the outer fellow may be miserable. We should be ready to accept. If we do the other way around, for the sake of making the outer fellow jiva we happy, if we make the inner fellow miserable, then throughout this life, we never do anything to evolve ourselves. Sadhanas to evolve from the jiva to the Paramatma level, we only indulge in all those things which make us as a jiva more miserable and bound, and only catering to the outer personality. So become acutely aware in me. Like when I come and sit in class for 1 hour, the outer fellow is miserable. What sitting for this class? This time something else could have been done. But inner Jiva is happy. Yeah, something is studied today about Paramatma. Little more clarity has come, little more conviction has come. So when I recognize these two personalities and come to a matured level of valuing the inner Jiva and to make him happy when I do sadhana at the cost of the outer things, and then make a habit of it, then I am matured sadhaka. If this discrimination is not done, if this external identity person alone is given value as reality, and to cater to him only we are doing everything, forgetting we are Jiva inside, then life after the life, the Jiva we have to reach to Paramatma, that whole thing is forgotten. We only live life as an individual entity trying to fulfill our kamana through variety of the activities through bodies. That's what Bhagavan told Arjuna. You are miserable. Who is miserable? The outer Arjuna who is identified with the Yuddha, with the Jaya and Parajaya of the Yuddha, and with the killing or getting killed by these Bhishma Drona, Duryodhana. This is the outer fellow who is limited only from the birth to the death. Beyond him there is a Jiva. Satisfied that Jiva is satisfied when the Dharma is done. Therefore, for the sake of that jiva, you do the dharma yuddha because it is dharma yuddha, and you are a kshatriya. For you, the dharma is doing yuddha. Dharmyadhi yuddhat shreyaha anyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. So Arjuna was looking and thinking and deciding from the outer individual standpoint. Krishna is lifting his attention from that to the Jiva Bhava and then reminding him, as a Jiva, your goal is to identify with the Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dhati Pavakaha self. To turn towards him, you have to purify Antakarana. To purify Antakarana, you are placed in different places. And in that place, whatever the Dharma is given to you, doing that purifies you. So you are now in this Yuddha Kshetra. You are Kshatriya. You are Dharma Paksha. So they are also Kshatriya. They are in the Adharma Paksha. They are also there as fighting war. Now here fighting, not looking for victory or success, failure, fighting the war to protect your inner Dharma outside the outer Dharma is your duty as a sadhaka in you, as a jiva in you. Arjuna couldn't recognize it. He was only lost in outside. We all are also get lost in all our outer identities. Like I'm outside a speaker to you. But who am I inside? I am a jiva through this speech, becoming clear about my own self or identity to go near to that self. If I am aware of that and give value to that jiva in me, sadhaka in me, then I am really matured. If that is forgotten, I am just samsari, tossed up from one day to other, one situation to other, one temptation to other, one desire to other, one activity to other, one indulgence to other, wherein we have done everything, not doing the main thing. So let us become aware of that jiva and cater to the happiness and satisfaction of the jiva. Is it not? Asatya jhoot bol ke temporary some profit you get. The outer individual is happy क्योंकि मिल गया पैसा, but inner jiva is miserable because that is not the right way. But try to be honest and don't do all that. Outer fellow says, yaar kya garibi hai. But the inner jiva says, thank God, whether garib or not, that's secondary, but live the life of dharma and honesty. In that way, live as a jiva inside, doing sadhanas which take this jiva bhava towards the Atma Anubhava. Focus on him more and more. All the time tell, I am the jiva, have to discover myself. I am not only the external individuality or identity. They are all part of the game. None of them should overpower my Jiva Bhava in me, whose purpose is to recognize the Atmanubhuti. In this thought, as many times as possible, as long as we are there, that is one of the many techniques by which the outer temptations or influences will be able to curb and reduce, and the inner required sadhanas for the Jiva's evolution we can take up as commitment and do. While listening this thought itself, you can see how our orientation towards the world will change if this way we start giving value to the evolving jiva in me. Like outer individual in me wants to become angry with you when you do something wrong. That satisfies me also when I do. But inner jiva when he says, yeah, what do you relation have with those people? You have come here as some prarabdha, go through that. How can you become angry? Angry you become only when you are selfish and ego. How can you have the ego? How can you be selfish? That whatever the others behave, it is their nature. You have to protect the peace of your mind. You have to make the mind calm and quiet. You have to make the mind introverted toward the self. In this way, the jiva from within if speaks, and listening to that words, when I stop becoming angry, then I have valued the jiva sadhaka in me. Like that, every moment till it becomes a habit, we have to do. Once this is achieved, then the so-called samatha, which is said in every of the shastra, is experienced by us. We become very clever about it. We laugh at everything. We smile at everything. We are cheerful at everything. We are calm and quiet. We are responsive, not reacting. In that way, we live life. If this way we are calm and quiet and gambhira and non-reacting, just responding to the outer world, giving only due value or importance and not beyond that, then we have conquered our outer vyavahara influencing and disturbing our sadhana. This is very, very essential step. Then only the inner jiva's cravings of he wants to be the infinite self, you can attend to that. Always the inner jiva is craving to become one with the eternal infinite self. बट उस बंदे को चांस ही नहीं मिल रहा बिकॉज ऑल द टाइम एनर्जी इज गॉन फॉर हिज आउटर इंडिविजुअल. But with this maturity, devaluing beyond a limit the outer fellow, when we go on saying, I am the Jiva, I have to evolve, I have to recognize my identity with the self, go on saying so. Some years when it is done, you can see the world is neither burden because of its persecutions, nor the burden because I have lot of desires for the world. At that level, like you go to a restaurant only to eat the food and go away. You don't comment on anything. You don't go and give all unnecessary suggestions and all. That's it. You came for your purpose, you are gone. So too, I came in this Deha into this world for my purpose as a Jiva to evolve. For that, whatever is to be done, that only I do. I don't need to add any new kachara, new anything. Nothing is important in this world. By incidents, by the prarabdha, by God's grace, what has to come to me, it will come. It is in the form of friends, relatives, family members, in the form of sukha, dukkha through them. So I smile at them. Oh, this time today it is a dukkha because somebody insulted me. So that is today's prarabdha. Another day somebody respected me, loved me, served me. So that day sukha came. Oh, prarabdha. Okay, हो गया. कल क्या होगा? Let भगवान जाने. जो होगा आने दो. जो आना है, जो जाना है जाने दो. But my attention is in my own self. That I am the Jiva, identified by the Upadhi. Slowly by detaching from the Upadhi, I have to discover my Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva. The one who becomes clear in his understanding lives accordingly. He can do in one lifespan more and more sadhana than himself earlier or than others. So what is the saramsha of this second thought today? Only one. See that the jiva in you is satisfied. He is satisfied when sadhana is done. Don't try to make the outer individual satisfied. He will be satisfied erratically when you fulfill his desires which come at every moment illogically from any side for no reason. बस ऐसा आ जाता है मन में, चाय पीना, कॉफी पीना, सो जाना, टीवी देखना, घूमने चलना. All of them are not of jiva. Jiva's craving is only through bhakti, surrender to Brahma, through jnana become one with Parabrahma. The inner जीव का वही की लक्ष्य होता है, बेचारा उसी को लेकर वो इस देह में आया. But that fellow is suppressed and this individual is given importance. If you go on answering to this fellow becomes very powerful. Then the jiva inside is suppressed. Suppression of jiva is no sadhana, only samsara. We have to be observant in this way. Is it jiva's craving or the individual's craving? Individuals, every craving belongs to individual. All the sattvic karmas, antakarna shuddhi karma, dharma karma, sadhana karma, upasana karma, they are the ones belonging to jiva. And you will see also, every time when you do class, you are happy. Inside, where today I attended, something I heard. Little at least, the satisfaction, contentment deep is there in us. नहीं है का अर्थ क्या हुआ? The samsari in you, outer fellow, is overpowering. If you are unbiased and honest, you can see today I did my puja happy, I did my japa happy. Is it not? But today I did all my bhoga. Little pleasures, but not so happy. That guilt is there inside. The guilty fellow is jiva, the happy fellow is outer fellow. So while doing sadhana, happy fellow is jiva inside, the guilty fellow is out. Guilty means the fellow who says, Arey, I missed today, wala ye enjoyment. जो कहता है outer fellow. No, by the way, they're not this way three Atma. Atma is one only. Out of illusion, it is taken as Jiva. Jiva in every birth, identified with the Upadhis, he lives like that. They are all not three personalities, but because of three conditionings, three expressions. So, whom to value? The Jiva in. What is the value of Jiva? Only doing sadhana. When this is done, Jiva is doing sadhana, therefore he is happy. As the sadhana becomes intensified, he nears to the self. That gives more calmness, more quietness, more joy for no reason. To that extent, you are away from the outer individuality. Though that fellow in the beginning start become miserable, later on usko bhi वो आदत होता है. In the slowly, steadily, the outer individual should not be there at all. He should be there only to perform something which are required. All the time, the jiva in me should be predominant. He only should be prominent, and his purpose is only to know the self, and that sadhana alone should happen through us 24 hours. If we have evolved to that level, then we have really studied Shastra, we have understood the subtle essence of that, and we are really on the right path with the right doing, with the right conviction. May we all that way be blessed by the Ishvara Parampara, Ishvara and Guru Parampara and Shruti Mata, that we cater to the sadhaka, the jiva in us, not to a temporary pseudo fellow who expresses like through the window the bird every moment, depending on which upadhi he is identified with. Identified with the eye upadhi, want to see this or that. With the ear upadhi, want to listen this or that. With the tongue upadhi, eat this or that. These are all sporadic individual. Usko chup karna chahiye. If it is required, you do. If not, don't do that. Sit. So maybe that way become matured to make the jiva inside happy, who will be happy only when adhyatmic sadhanas are done. Having said so, now we come to our 11th Anuvaka. We have already seen out of the 25, 28 beautiful values, guidances, directions, instructions that are given, around 15 or 12 or 16 of them. So you can see Satyam Vada 1, Dharmam Chara 2, Swadhyaya Anma Pramadaha 3, Acharyaya Priyam Dharma Hrutya 4, Prajatantumma Vivacchetsihi 5, Satyanna Pramaditavyam 6, Dharmanna Pramaditavyam 7, Kushalanna Pramaditavyam 8, Bhutyaina Pramaditavyam 9, Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na Pramaditavyam 10, Deva Pitrukaryabhyam na Pramaditavyam 11, मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्य देवो भव अतिथि देवो भव 15 instructions. They are all the Shruti Smriti Ukta Pakka orders, never changeable orders. They just have to be strictly, scrupulously to be followed at every cost and effort and price. They are called as Shrauta Smarta Ukta injunctions or the orders. They are common to every person in the universe, wherever he is there, or whatever religion, in their own language, whatever they put it as. किसी भी भाषा में रखो, बट ये सब है. लाइक सत्यम, सत्य को बोलना है, सत्यम वदा. Is that satyam vada is a changeable thing because of any nationality, gender, caste, creed, religion? Everybody should be speaking Satya. So to Matru Devo Bhava, is it for only the Hindus who know Sanskrit? Is it not that every being in the universe should take care of Mother as a divinity? In the same way, Swadhyayat na Pramaditavyam is not everybody should study their own self and understand if they are bound through Upadhi, they have to get liberated. हर एक कुछ जब समझना है सारे बात. हो गया? This is how these 15 things speak us to us about the 15 unavoidable values, inevitable values to be practiced, not to allow us to fall down, help us to stabilize as well as become purified in the Antakarana, catering for our spiritual evolution. And we have to be aware of all of them. We have to master, like any doctor. You will have to be, as long as in the profession of medicine, should always be aware of his entire medical thing. He can't forget. He cannot say कि मैं भूल गया स्टेथोस्कोप कहाँ लगाना है कान में, उधर कहाँ रखना है, क्या सुनना है. He cannot have the forgetfulness. He should know within that 7-8 seconds. He guesses, oh, okay, his heartbeat is proper. So this is not the reason. Something else. Let me check. He should not say, I don't know how the thermometer or a thermometer is used. Are you understanding? As long as he is in that profession, he cannot afford to forget his thing. So too, you and I, as the students of Shastra, the seekers of Paramatma Tattva, all the time have to remember 15. इनमें साधनाओं को कहते प्रमाद नहीं करना. अब इनको याद करने में ही अगर हम प्रमाद करें तो दैट इज आवर एफर्ट. What is the first sadhana is to remember all the time what is my sadhana. This is the first sadhana. है कि नहीं? काम करने में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है? क्या क्या काम करना है उसको याद रखने वाला काम. In the same way, these 15 can never be forgotten. That's why every day these mantras have to be chanted till they are always in the surface of the mind. And they have to become one with us through practice, that even in dream we are not forgetting them. You understand that? Like when you own a house, live in that house for some months, years, after which you know this is my house, pakka. मेरा घर में कोई संशय नहीं होता, because you have become habituated to saying it my house so much that you need not even say with the mouth. So to any car, anything, your children are born, मेरा बेटा, man, how much you become. In the same way, we have to become one with all these sadhanas. This is called sadhana. अब after listening to this, you cannot ask मुझे क्या करना है और साधना बताओ. These are the things. Learn all this, by heart all of them, keep in the mind all of them all the time, be aware which is the occasion at every moment. Among these 15 sadhanas, I have to practice which one. बोलने की बात आ गई तो सत्य बोलो, करने की बात आ गया तो धर्म करो, देन अपने आप को फ्री टाइम मिला स्वाध्याय प्रवचन करो, देन occasion आ गया देव पितृ कार्य करो. You understand that? All the time I am busy in doing one or these things. My whole day is filled with these all as kartavya. And why I am doing all of that? What is the expected goal? Phala, nothing outside. I am freed inside from all the obligations, all the runa. करते करते एक दिन एक मिराकल होता है. यू विल फील यार ये कर रहा हूं, अभी कितने दिन करूं मैं, ये तो हो गया. That thought is the day where you can say that particular prarabdha is over. Immediately you can shift to the higher study and meditation. You can feel it. Every jiva in his sure and sincere evolutionary process, when he follows all that, he feels it. Like I am doing satsanga. So much of urge inside, want inside. When I do it for few more years, Swamiji, few more years, तो दिन में बंद करो ना, whatever, few more days, I will myself feel I am contented, satisfied. But that means what? By the time the urge to talk, the vasana to talk, the need of sadhana to talk, and the result of this talking in the form of inner antakarana shuddhi is achieved. All my talking is only to come to a stage of giving up the talk. Because Paramatma is Nayamatma Pravachanena Labhya Namedaya. Therefore, every doing is done only to come out of that doing. That doing is forced on us because we have vasanas. We have the compulsions in us. Without phalapeksha, when you go on doing, vasanas go away. Then once a vasana go away, you are not required to do anymore. Therefore, the grahastha ashrama. Why we have to live? Only to get out of the grahastha ashrama vasana. When you do it without phalapeksha, then the vasana goes away. After it gone away, you are not anymore bound. And same thing when you do with phalapeksha, it creates more and more vasanas. Then you will never leave it, it will never leave you. You understand? You will never leave it and it will never leave you. On the other hand, phalapeksha rahita you do, after some time you also feel I have done it, no more I need to do. You leave it and that also never compels you. Take it. Then you can go for the inner meditation. Final thing is meditation on the self. Through contemplation, through Anvaya Vyatireka, always establish that Satchidananda is ultimate truth and try to be one with Satchidananda. That is the ultimate meditation to be done. Never forget it. But intellectual memory itself will not be there. Forget about the sadhana as long as so many of the agitation, disturbances are there. That is called as inner impurity Rajagunam. To remove that only, all these Satyamada, Dharmam, Chara, all that. When you scrupulously taking the words of Shruti Mata and Guru as the orders, when we keep on doing continuously, not expecting any outer results, praying only for inner purity in the course of its maturity, you can see that. हमको ही पता चलता है, आंख खोल के बंद करके देखा तो मन शांत है. No person remembered, no object remembered, no sankalpa for anything of the world is coming. At the same time, not sleepy or lazy, you are very alert. And only the name of the Lord remembered, some of the values are remembered, some shloka of the Shastra remembered, some thought of the Vedanta Vicharana is remembered, some prakriya of the contemplation is remembered. If all these are happening, means अंतःकरण शुद्ध हो रहा है. बहुत हद तक हो चुका है. And it happens. Guaranteed it will happen if one follows all these things said by the Shruti Mata. All these 15 of them. Every one of them. We have to become aware and keep on involving. Now, after studying this portion of the Upanishad, no need to go to any Mahatma or Guru in the world for guidance. If anybody have to say the best, this alone they have to say, and this is already said. What remains is to remember ourselves these things and practice. The one who doesn't know or is little inadvertent in this aspect that I have to remember them and practice, he alone again tends to go from one guru to the other, one class to the other, one text to other. वो एक बंदा एक आश्रम से दूसरे आश्रम, एक मंदिर से दूसरे मंदिर घूम रहा है, का अर्थ क्या है? उसको बैठकर साधना करने की मेच्योरिटी नहीं आया. I'm not saying it is wrong. Like this गणपति पंडाल, एक गणपति यहाँ बैठकर ध्यान करो, गणपति को पाओ. But I want to see all Ganapati. His purpose is not to invoke grace of Ganapati. His purpose is only to see the form of Ganapati in each pandal. In the same way, if I go from one place to the other, means what? I am interested in the outer details of what he is speaking, how he is speaking, not the ultimate subject. Why I am saying so? Well, who else can say better than this? Anybody have to say this only, and this is already said. Therefore, instead of searching somewhere else for some more information, get convinced about this information and start practicing. This alone gives us the uncountable, beautiful results of inner purification and qualification for meditation. ये 15 चीजों को ही बयाट करना. In the same way, what Parashurama is telling about Rama, alone we have to study and meditate. And what Krishna taught us in chapter 28, that alone we have to again and again remember. Leaving this, imagining something else somewhere is only an imagination. The thing is taught in the Taittiriya Upanishad. In other places, the things around this may be told. They may look to be entertaining, but they are not the facts. We are not here to get entertained by any of the variety of speeches and all. We are here to mean business. Our business, outer duty, inner purification, innermost meditation, and innermost self-realization. We have no doubt regarding this. So इसके बाद फिर और कुछ जानना है, उसके लिए और कहीं जानना है और कुछ पढ़ना सुनना, that is only imagination. And from there again you go somewhere. From there घूम फिरा फिर कहाँ होगे? इसी तैत्तिर्य में आओगे. तो ऑलरेडी यही हो, अब इसको ही प्रैक्टिस करो. The mind which doesn't allow us to station at one sadhana makes us jump from one place to other. We have to realize this. It's a jumping of the mind and make the mind monkey quieten and use the intellect. यार कैसे जीना बता दिया है, अब let me by heart it and let me live like that. Fix हो जाना है mind बुद्धि को उसमें. The buddhi should be fixed in the sadhana. Mind should do what buddhi says. So that's how the sadhaka does sadhana and grows. There's no other way. Give a chance to the mind. It does window shopping, but never stays at any place to buy anything. It goes to every restaurant, never orders anything to eat. So these are all Shruti Smriti Ukta Pakka 15 orders. Antevasinam Anushasti. Acharya Anushasti. Iti Shruti api Anushasti. आचार्य ने अनुशासन किया करके आचार्य मुख से श्रुति पहले कहती है. Toward the end of this Anuvaka, Shruti herself gives the Anushasana. एतदनुशासनम एवं उपासितव्यम एवं उचैतदनुशास्त्यम इति वेदानुवचनम. You see, all these things Shruti herself tell as an order. Now, in the next paragraph, what are added are, in general, when we are in the world, apart from doing these 15, any other occasion arises. At that time, how we have to be careful. क्योंकि ना जो लिस्ट में दिया वही तो नहीं होता. And the Shruti Mata knows, the Guru knows, the times go on changing every moment. आगे जाकर क्या situations बनेगा नहीं पता. तो उस समय क्या करना, वो निर्णय लेने के टाइम ये डेटा पूरा sufficient नहीं होगा. Therefore, particular instruction may not be given, but some general guidelines have to be given to avoid confusion while taking correct decision at that situation. Therefore, after saying the Pakka instructions of the Shruti, the Pandra instruction, now the general instructions are given. They are also Anushasana to us. They are around 8 to 10 of them, or maybe 1 or 2 here and there. Among them are these ones. First, let us chant the mantra and then we will see the meaning with the help of Bhashya straight away. Very beautiful, more than beautiful, very essential and important. Start. Yan up to Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava are over. Now the next. Yanyanavadyani karmani tani sevitavyani no itarani yanyasmakagam sucharitane tani tvayopasyane no itarani yeke chasmachreyagam so ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया देयम् अश्रद्धया अदेयं श्रिया देयं ह्रिया देयं भिया देयं संविदा देयम् अथ यदि ते कर्म संविदा देयम्. Up to this is the second portion. See, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Deyam. Just now in Brahadaranyaka also same topic came. In the Dhanam, what is the self of the Dana? Heart of the Dana, Shraddha. और दान कहाँ से निकलना चाहिए? दिल से. You will be enjoying Brahadaranyaka Upanishad. It is so cool, calm, detailed, elaborate, exhaustive. We'll study it for 1 या 2 साल with the help of Bhashya and Vartika. I think Brahad Vartika is there of Sureshwaracharya. It helps me not to worry too much as to how to explain or interpret. He makes it so easy. The Bhashya. Bhashya makes the Upanishad mantra easy. Vartika makes Bhashya easy for us. Like this Taittiriya also is called Vartika. But I was afraid of taking it because it may become lengthy karke. But I found that also so good when I do it in other language, Hindi or Telugu sometime. With Vartika I teach. I study for myself. By the way, now I just said about Shraddhaya Deyam Ityadi are there in Brahadaranyaka, which we studied. Now come to each of the sadhana, the general sadhanas. First one. What is that? Yani anavadyani karmani tani sevitavyani. Wherever tavya word comes, you have to add kar to that. Make it as kartavya. Like gantavya means gamana karyam kartavya. Isn't it? Gantavya means gamana karyam kartavya. Kartavya means करके रखना है, जरूर करना है, अवॉइड नहीं करना. द कर्तव्य, द करणीय, द कार्य मीन्स मस्ट टू डू. सो हियर यानी अनवद्यानि कर्माणि सानि सेवितव्यानि. कर्तव्य प्रत्यय इट्स कॉल्ड. तव्य प्रत्यय. तव्य मीन्स टू बी डन. You can't avoid it. You must do it as a sadhana. So what is that? Yani, those anavadyani karmani. In various occasions when you are there, the karmas which are not avadya. Avadya means blemishful. non-positive, negative, censurable. Anavadya means non-blemishful, non-censurable, non-negative karma means positive ones. Kartavyani, they must be practiced. That means what? When these 15 are told and you are pakka in them, and when you are doing all that, suddenly an occasion came where some work has come in front of you, but that work is not in the list of these 15, then you are in dilemma, should I do it or not? The answer is what? If that is not against the Shastra, if in that there is no dosha is there and it is going to help, you must do that. What are the list of the activities? That's what not, I am not saying. This much I am saying, if that is not avadya, if it is not against the Shastra, if it is not destroying your sadhana or troubling your sadhana, if it is not a papa karma, if it is truly genuinely helping the world, you must do that. तानि सेवितव्यानि, ये लिस्ट में नहीं है तो भी, लेकिन कर्म अनवद्य है और फायदेमंद वाला है, डेफिनेटली यू डू. Because in any of the teachings of any teacher or the book, the list cannot be completely given. Either because the book will become bulky, or any number of lists you give, still one or two still miss. Therefore, we have to say the general instruction also. The general instruction is, if that karma is anavadya, not dosha yukta, it is good, helpful to you and others, you do it. Even though if it is not in the list of these 15. That's the main thing. In general, beta, so matlab it is, you can feel the face of the disciples when they have listened that. After the 15 are told, Atiteva Bhava, the Guru's face was, Yar maine bata diya jo batana tha. Now the disciple face is what? Sir, other than these 15 things, any other occasion comes where we have to take some decision to act. How we have to do it? That question mark face in the disciple face, Guru might have studied, therefore Guru silently answering. See that beauty of their tuning? Beta, in those occasions where these 15 things are not there, at that time, if it is not anavadya, it is not papa, it is not against Shastra, it is helping in a sadhana, helping the world also. Kartavyani, you must do that. इज इट नॉट, कोई एक्सीडेंट हो गया, बंदा चोट लगा, तो इसमें लिखा नहीं, इस 15 वाले लिस्ट में वो नहीं है. अब क्या करें उस समय? यू हैव टू लिफ्ट दैट फेलो, टेक टू द हॉस्पिटल एंड ऑल, दैट इज अ तव्या, सेवितव्या नहीं, बिकॉज नॉट इज अनवद्य कर्म नहीं है वो. बट दैट फेलो एक्सीडेंट हो गया, चोट लगा, उसके जेब में पॉकेट में पर्स है, पर्स में पैसे हैं, नो टेक द पर्स एंड गो, दैट इज अवध्य कर्म. वो भी लिखा नहीं शास्त्र में, मत करो करके. It was never told in Shastra कि don't take the pocket money of a person who is under accident. By the way, it is said in Dharmatna Pramaditavyam. In an expanded meaning of Dharma, everything comes. धर्म का पूरे दायरे में आप समझोगे, एक्चुअली उसमें सब चीज आते हैं. आप ऐसा कोई नहीं कह सकते कि कुछ नहीं कहा हो. Is it right to take others' purse? No. So right means dharma. It is not right, but it is adharma. Therefore, it is included in general. But particularly in Shastra, it is not said don't steal. Therefore, should I do it, sir? It is avadya karma. Therefore, mat karo. Like the meaning. So Bhagavan's bhasha is what? Ki yani apicha anyani. Anya means other than these 15, pakka undoubtedly told. तो गुरु महाराज भी इतने बुजुर्ग बुढ़े हो गए. Throughout the day, throughout the 6 years he taught. Now, even the convocation also he gave all the words. So many other preparations, other speakers also are there. Certificates have to be given, they have to be sent. So even then he took time and gave list of 15 activities. More than that, how can you tell? Even he may have everything in his mind, but time is not there. Therefore, in a wholesale form, he is saying. What is that wholesale? Yani apicha anyani. Yani means anyani. See that yani ko add kar diya, anna, it has become anyani. Yani means whichever they are. Whichever they are means other than these 15. Other means anya. That yani said by the Upanishad is said by anyani, by Guru Shankara by adding unword. It becomes anyani. Yani anyani. Yani anavadyani karmani said by Shruti. Anyani not said. So yani anyani. Anya means other than the list of 15. So yani means anyani anavadyani. That is what. What is anavadyam? Aninditani. That which are not nindita, which cannot be censured or said as wrong. How will you know it? That's a Shishta Achara Lakshanani. The Shishta Purusha's Achara Lakshanavala Karma. A good person, a noble person, he is doing that. That's called Shishta Achara Lakshanani. Tani Karmani. Karmani Tani Sevitavyani means Kartavyani Tvaya. You understood? What is the meaning of Anavadyani Karmani, Aninditani Karmani? What is the explanation of Anindita Karma? Shishta Achara Lakshanani. Those karmas which are done as an achara by the Shishta Purusha. Therefore, Shishta Purusha becomes your authority at that time. Where other than the list of these 50 activities, some other activity has to be done for you. So, two things. One is Anindita ho, dusra Shishtachar wala ho. The Shishtachara is a very important word in the life. Shishta, great, grand, noble, yes, noble persons, what they do. So be attentive. Yani means anyani. What are the anyani? Anavadyani. What is anavadyani? Aninditani. What is aninditani? Shishtachara lakshanani. Those karmas, kartavyani, means tvaya, you must do them. Shishtachara lakshan. Like in the natural calamity times or any of the works that society demands from us that time. कुछ हुआ देश के लिए या कुछ करना है. Now that time all those details cannot be put it in the Taittiriya Upanishad ना कि क्या करे क्या ना करे. फिर उस समय उस सोसाइटी में जो शिष्ट व्यक्ति है, what he does, if that is the so, and in that doing there is no blemish, we must do it as kartavya. Is it not? शिष्टाचार लक्षण वाला अनिंदित कर्म का हमें जरूर करना है, जो इस 15 के लिस्ट में नहीं है. बी अवेयर इन दैट वे. यानी अन्यानि अनवद्यानि अनिंदितानि शिष्टाचार लक्षणानि तानि कर्माणि सेवितानि मीन्स कर्तव्यानि त्वया मय्यु. सो यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि. जो निंदित नहीं हो, शिष्टों ने किया है, वो जरूर करो. First important thing. The second one is more subtle and more beautiful and more greater than the earlier one. What is that? He is telling it in English. No itarani. No means no. Not this English word. No means no plus u is no. U is a nipata. Is a particle added only to make the na more stronger. Like in English, no, 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 no means no. You facially you express something, you elongate the word, you take some inhaling or exhaling, yeah, you show your hand, only to stress what you want to say. Like, I don't want to go to school, the child. You won't say like that. Don't want. You will add variety of emotions. I will not. कुछ भी करेगा और रोएगा, एग्जाम्पल देगा, एक्सक्यूज करेगा, तबीयत ठीक नहीं. All of that are the upasargas. The main thing is doesn't want to go to school. He want to convey that. He adds all the prefixes and suffixes. So to the u is an ipata suffix to say the stressing aspect of this word na. Therefore, na u is equal to no itarani. No other karma should be done. What is the itara here? Itara should be other. Other to what? What is said so far? What is so far said? Anavadyani. Therefore, what is the itara of the anavadya? Avadyani. Now immediately a question comes. Hey Maharaj, itara means अनवद्य का इतर अवध्य हो गया, बट शिष्टाचार किया है तो शिष्ट ने उस चीज को किया तो भी अगर अवध्य है वो नहीं करना. That is the meaning of u, the letter there. Be attentive. That is why the help of Bhashya comes. तो यानी यानी अनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि is positive. करने का, कौन सा काम करना है, डिसिसिवली कह रहे हैं. इफ दे आर नॉट निंदिता, सेंसुरेबल, एंड इट विदाउट डन बाय द शिष्टाचार, शिष्ट व्यक्ति ने किया है. Point 1. No itarani, now we have to explain. Because Shruti Mata said, Yani anvadhyani karmani tani sevitavyani, no itarani. Itarani na sevitavyani. What are those itarani? Itarani is other. First point का other क्या है? Anavadya means avadya. Therefore avadya नहीं करना. But there is another option. Karma is avadya, nindita, but done by a shishya, shishta. For whatever the reason, he has done it that time. By the divine providence, by his own that short time prarabdha, or the world needs at that time. He has done something, but it is an avadya. Should we do that? No, there the weightage should be given to avadya and anavadya, not to the achara or non-achara of the shishta. Means what? Even the shishta person does that anavadya karma, you should not do. There the shishta person is not the authority, the karma ka avadyata ya anavadyata, wo important. How important is this? See? How subtle. Therefore, by this saying, Shruti is telling, don't blindly follow anybody, even is a great person of the world, because with his greatness of 99.999%, 0.001%, there is one non-correct thing may happen through him. If you take him as authority, you may do this one bad thing, which may be totally destructive to you. And with your crooked intelligent, the 99.99% good he has done, that you are not impressed to follow, but this one thing you may follow and destroy yourself and blame that Mahatma, इन्होंने किया इसलिए मैंने किया. How sensitive and careful, kind, loving the Shruti Mata, that she doesn't want even an iota of mistake to be done and fallen by a seeker who is studying Upanishad. उपनिषद पढ़ने बंदे को थोड़ा सा भी नीचे गिरने का मौका किसी भी तरह का नहीं देना. That is the concern of the Upanishad. He says, if the karma is nindita, even though it is done by Shishta, you should not do. Why that Shishta did, all is none of your business. There are some other people who are worried, concerned about it. तुमको क्यों? तुमको नहीं करना बस. शिष्ट व्यक्ति जो अनिंदित काम करेगा वही करना. शिष्ट व्यक्ति निंदित करेगा तो वो नहीं करना हमको. Interesting point there. And we need not worry about why that Shishta has done nindita. How it has happened, Ishvara knows it. Like Yudhishthira is Shishta Bhakti. Throughout life, Yudhishthira lived a life of dharma and satyam. Therefore, you have to always follow. But in Yuddha, once he spoke untruth because Krishna told. Does it mean that you have to speak the untruth because Yudhishthira spoke? No, there you have to give the value to not speaking the lie, speaking truth. Therefore, there the speaking lies anindita karma, उसको नहीं करना. But युधिष्ठिर ने बोला फिर भी नहीं करना चाहिए. How clear it is, you know. Are you feeling that clarity of it? Unambiguous. But स्वामी जी उसने कहा ना कहा, तुम्हारे मन को, तुम्हारा दिमाग तो है, your little conscience, थोड़ा तो तुम इवॉल्व हो गए हो, सेंसिटिव हो गए हो, तुम बोल अपने दिमाग से ये काम करेक्ट है कि नहीं. नहीं है तो मत करो, बस हो गया. निंदित है तो मत करना. Luckily, whether we follow somebody or not, little purity, introvertedness, if we have, what exactly the correct work and not correct work, everybody gets a flash of it. Because in everybody's heart, the self is there who speaks only the truth always. सबके दिल में होता है. But we overrule it, we neglect it, we just supersede it, we bypass it, and we listen to the mind's fancies and senses, temptations and the misguidance of the people. In this way we get lost. But right, सबके अंदर फ्लैश जरूर होता है, ये गलत काम है, नहीं करना. तो अनिंदिता शिष्टाचार कृता should be done. निंदिता शिष्टाचार अकृता should not be done. निंदिता शिष्टाचार कृता फिर भी should not be done. After this clarity is given, then where do we need to go again for further clarity? This only we have to be clear and understand in conviction, we have to follow it. That is the beauty of the Upanishad. So, yani apicha anyani anavadyani aninditani shishtaachara lakshanani karmani tani sevitavyani means kartavyani tvaya. Part 1. Part 2, no. No means na akartavyani, should not be done. What are they? Itarani. What are they? Itarani Savadyani, which are along with the blemisho. Then Shishtakrutani api, even if they are done by a good noble person. See, a good person, noble person is not doubted here. You understand that there is a power of Maya, there is Vyashti Samashti Prarabdha. We don't know what happens or done by a person. And he may be seemingly doing some things wrong outside, but inside his heart is pure. Yudhishthira spoke outside that untruth, but inside he was following the order of Krishna, for whom the Lord Krishna is a Bhagavan. Then that he has done, then only the Drona can be eliminated, the adharma, otherwise it cannot be. He has got his inner own clarity and conscience, but outside he spoke the lie. That Ashwatthama Hataha. It's called Adha truth, kehte hain usko. Half truth, half jhoot. Ashwatthama Hataha is true, but not the sun, but the Kunjara. So if we can't know, no, what are the inner things for him, because of which he has done that. ऊपर से आपको दिख रहा है पक्का कि गलत कर, आप नहीं करना बस. शिष्टकृतानि अपि सावध्यानि कर्माणि न कर्तव्यानि. Shiष्टकृतानि अनिन्दितानि, if at all the karmas are there, they are kartavyani in general, apart from these 15. Now this is talked about when you are in the world, you know the Shishta people and what they do, we do. If it is anindita, if it is nindita, if they also have done it, they have done it, yet you should not do. This happens because we go to big places. The big high profile people also, they are generally Shishta, but they do some wrong thing. Oh, koi drink liya, unhone cigarette piya. You understand? That is nindita karma it is. Because he has done, you should not do. And this is the thing taken as helper by which all the publicity in the world through advertisements are done for every other product. We consider some fellow as the Shishta, and that those particular product wala knows, and he gives money to that so-called Shishta. Through that person, that ad is made. And what we get tempted? Mera hero ne kiya, isliye main bhi karta hu. But if you study this one, not only we don't do, even if that so-called our hero is done, but from our mind we'll remove the idea that this fellow is not hero, he's a zero only. If he's a hero, is an icon, how can he give an ad for the cigarettes or pan and all that, which are detrimental and destructive? They are doing for different purpose. You should have your common sense. It is not that my hero has taken that liquor, I take it. It is the other way around. I will not take it. Not only that, I'll drop this fellow as a hero list. How can you do that? Finally point क्या है ना, हमें अपने आप को बचाना है. And we protect ourselves only by doing good actions of अंतःकरण purity, not by the bad actions because of which लेने का देना पड़ेगा, नरक जाना पड़ेगा, अंतःकरण और अशुद्ध हो जाएगा, regrets, guilt होंगे. To wash it up, some more lives you have to take. There's nobody in the world, the Shishta, Mahatma, Guru, ये बात की बात, पहले अपना साधना. You protect yourself. You do your sadhana. You can't blame others later on. I considered you as hero, you did it, I followed you. अरे बेवकूफ, किसने कहा तेरे को मुझे हीरो लेने के लिए? You take me as hero in my good things, not in bad. That is when Gita's warning. Yadyad acharate shrestha tattat eva itara janaha. Anybody Shrestha Purusha does Acharana, others follow it. There was a responsibility of that so-called Shrestha person to correctly act so that others are not misguided. That is told to that so-called Shrestha Purusha. But what is told to this fellow who is following him, it is said in the Upanishad. That even if he is doing a wrong thing, even if it's a Shishta Purusha, if it is wrong, you should not follow. No itarani, savadhyani, Shishta Krutani api na kartavya. How important it is. The integrity in us. Otherwise, we take the big people as example and you do wrong things. And you take every big person's example in doing only wrong things which they are doing. Following the noble person and following only the ignoble things which they do, that is how the mind cheats us. And what comes to us is the karma phala. And the karma phala depends on the karma. Karma is good or bad, we have to be very careful. Who has done? Even the Shishta Purusha has done. But is the thing is right, wrong? You should not. That's what Gurudev says. When somebody asks, you are Krishna has stolen the butter, Bhagavan says, Gurudev says, you do all other things done by Krishna of the great works and don't steal butter, which he has done. You look better than Krishna, we will worship you. First take the poison, like a putana. फिर जिंदा रहेंगे फिर बाद में देख. You say you won't do all the great things done by Krishna and one butter he has theft and you say you want to follow that. Whether Krishna stolen the butter or not, that's a different case in the court. He has never stolen. They only did all the natak and all. वो बर्खास्त किया जाएगा केस उस तरह के लॉजिक में. Even if you take it, because Krishna took butter, you should not do it because it's abadya. For you, the Krishna should be an example to graze the cows, get the milk, make a butter, and share it with us. In that aspect, you have to do because that is anavadyani karmani sevitavyani. Because anindita karma is shishta akshara karma. Is it not? But this one, it is an nindita karma, but shishta done, but still you should not do. You understood it? Like Bhagavan Rama told his wife Sita to jump into fire. He is a shishta. But that is nindita karma. You cannot ask your wife to jump into fire. They'll follow Rama करके गुद्दो रखेल थोड़ी देते. See, these are the things people, crooked fellows, misguide themselves and others by taking the wrong examples at right place. A bada habit. No, I'll not enter into that to talk at length about how the people are so stupid to misinterpret and shastras and consciously, choicefully they get misguided and destroy themselves. You understand it? Never ever do, if it is a nindita karma, even if you see that it is done by a greater than the greatest person. Your karma is important, not the person. Again, why that person did that wrong is none of your business. It has various reasons. You do, you protect yourself. You mind your business. तुम्हें डिसाइड करना है करूँ कि नहीं करूँ. Anavadya karma means anavadya, should not be done. Avadya means avadya, should be. Anavadya means anavadya, should be done. Avadya means avadya, should not be done. So, yani anavadyani karmani, tani sevitavyani, kartavyani. What is anavadya? Aninditani, shishtasara kartani. No idarani means anyani. Anyani means ninditani. Shishtasarani api, shishtakrutani api na kartavyani. Now the Guru focus attention. I told you about the people in general. The great people also do wrong, you should not do. If it is a good thing, just observe a great person doing, take that attention to it. It should be not the nindita karma. Now I am focusing your attention on to me. I am your Guru. I am your Acharya. You love me so much and you do exactly what I tell and what I do. Even in my case also, for any of the reason, as an Acharya, I do something wrong, you should not take me as an authority and do that wrong. You should never do that wrong also. देखो, that is the purity, that is the clarity of our shastras. कि मैं तुम्हारा आचार्य, कोई मेरे वजह से मैंने भी कुछ गलती की, तुम्हें उसको नहीं फॉलो करना. That much you have to be protective about yourself. Therefore, what it boils down to, finally, it is our doing which gives result, and we have to be very clear in our decision. करना हमको है, डिसीजन हमको लेना है. दूसरे लोगों से आपको डेटा लेना है. डेटा को एनालाइज करके डिसाइड करना और करना अपने आप इज आवर रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. So that is why the next one, yani asmakam sucharitani. Asmakam means acharyanam. Among we the acharyas, whatever the correct thing done, tani saritayani, those only you do, na itarani. If we as an acharya also fail to do something wrong, avadya karma, you should not take me also as an authority. I am ordering this to you now. The general order to is the wrong thing done by me also you should not do. And why I did all that is my different reasons. I need not tell you. But you should not do that. That's it. And whatever Sucharita I have done, if it is your sadhana, you must do. And that Bhashya and the meaning of it, tomorrow we will see. Now, having this way detailedly with Bhashya studied Taittiriya, do we need to go anywhere for getting information as to how the life has to be lived, what for it has to be lived, what to be done, what not to be done? It's only the manda buddhi of our mind intellect, it doesn't make us understand it. With the same manda buddhi, wherever you go, there also you won't understand. And I don't see any of the other Upanishads as beautiful as this, which started teaching us right from the beginning of the Shiksha Adhyaya, teaching us grammar language, lekar, what to do, what not do, through that, making us qualified for Brahma Vidya. And that Brahma Vidya also, with examples, so detailedly it will be told to us in the second and third Valli. That is why I am just going slow for my understanding, and you are also not concerned, worried about the time to enjoy the listening, learning, trying to get convinced and practicing. It's not an academic thing कि ये जो फरवरी से पहले दिसंबर से पहले पूरा सब्जेक्ट फिनिश करो नाम के वास्ते ना. थोड़ा तो आनंद आना चाहिए अध्ययन करने के समय. वो होगा when you are patiently analyzing and understanding everything said by our Shastra. And this Shastra, beautiful. And the topic after this 11th Anuvaka, before the 12th starts, of those 15-20 pages where Jnana Karma Samuchaya said, it is very heavy loaded, but we are going to study that also without leaving it, compromising with it. And all of this makes our intellect sharper, subtler, purer, to be able to analyze what is right or wrong, take right decision. That is how the evolution happens. Evaluation is using intellect, deciding what is right and doing that, knowing what is wrong and avoiding that. That is how the evolution. The seen evolutions are when you are sowing the seeds, the trees are growing, the fruits are coming. The unseen evolutions are becoming intellectual and knowing what right things to be done and doing it and not doing the wrong thing. The result of it is not seen right now. It will be seen in the future lives. The one who is only living the life only for this life is Parama immature fellow. The one who is living every moment of this life, keeping the next life in mind as a jiva for evolution, is the wise person. Let us have that wisdom. Let us not have the narrow gauge or even meter gauge. We should have the broad gauge. Our gaze should be broad. Gazing. Visualizing for future lives, decide and do such things which help us in evolving. In this thing, we should not have any laziness, lethargy, or compromising. This text that is so complete, let us continue tomorrow. There we take yani asmakam sucharitani tani sevitavyani noitharani then yasya asmachreyagam subrahmanaha tesham tayasnena prashasdavyam shraddhayadevam ashraddhayadeyam श्रियादयम ह्रियादयम विया संविदादेवम अतएते कर्मजी ये तत् ब्राह्मण युक्ता युक्ता. So 15 there and 10 more here, 25 हो जाएंगे, 10 or 12 whatever. So around 25 से 28 तक हमको इस पोर्शन 11th अनुवाक में पक्का इंस्ट्रक्शंस मिले. So what is that thing to be realized is Parabrahma. How to make the Antakarana Shuddhi is Upasana. Even how to come to the Upasana level is living a decent life. What are the decent life? These are the 25 things. Living these 25 things decently and then doing the Upasana also, thus become qualified without any aberrations or obstructions for the Brahma Vidya in the next Valli. ब्रह्मविदा आपनोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म. That will be the mantra. Thank you. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamaadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarshibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shruti Mahatre Namaha Veda Vyasa Vaishampayana Agnivalkya Shankarada Gurubhyo Namaha Asmadgurubhyo namah tat sat brahmarvanamastu. Club the first and last thought of the day. First thought is the jiva to be made happy. Second is it is our life. We have to focus on what to do. Take the data from outside, but don't blindly follow. That's what. Let us study our Viduraniti some 10 minutes.